Hi, I'm Josanna Calendar, the author of the Happy Little Garbage Truck picture book and educational system. We have a teacher's guide, a child's activity book, and of course, the story of the Happy Little Garbage Truck, which helps children learn literacy skills and social skills. So, without further ado, we've been talking about a series of strategies that can actually help a child improve their performance in school and behavior, socially in different situations. And it all depends on how we structure the child's activity. So, for me, like I said, focus on any skill usually is a challenge. I've been teaching children who fall in the autism spectrum for 10 years, but I've been teaching children in the area field of special education for 27 plus years. This has always been a challenge, and it's not just children with special needs. All children need to have focus directed to something. It's sort of like saying, okay, let's take your attention away from this fun cartoon, and now you're going to be focusing on writing parts of speech. Okay. With most children, they'd rather watch the cartoon than to be doing something that really doesn't pertain to their world at this time. So it's up to us to show the child that this is an important thing by pairing it with something that they would much rather be doing or much rather have. And so that is the individual strategy, which has worked really well for me over the years, I have to admit. So, but the basis of this tip is that it's very important first to know the child, to know their interests, and two, to be consistent with your promises. Those two things are above and beyond the most important part of the strategy's working parts. So, first of all, I have to find out what the child that I'm working with is interested in or what they're the biggest fan of. One child loved Angry Birds, one child might like Mr. Noodle. So what I do is I incorporate, I make a scorecard, and I said after you get 3 points or 5 points, we'll take a break and we can, do your favorite activity. So in the classroom, in the real world, I say this 5 point chart could be just as simple as having 5 stars written on a piece of paper. You write one at a time, or you can cover one. Oh, that's your first star. If you get 5 stars, then you can have whatever that item is. It could be a pretzel, a raisin. It's always small. You always incentivize with small pieces, and because you don't want to satiate the child. No, I don't need any more of those. So, or a little piece of time. I could even say if they're wanting to play Angry Birds, you only give them, okay, we're going to set the timer. You only have 1 minute to play it. Make sure it's kind of ready to go, so you don't have to search for part of their minute time. So you do 1 minute time of whatever the fun thing is, or the the tangible item. So I love this because it focuses the child's attention not so much on what they're doing. It's they're looking forward to the reward. And so that seems to make time go by quickly, but you have to be consistent. If you say 5 stars, they will remind you, oh, hey, I've got 5 stars. It's time for my treat. Okay, so this can be translated into the virtual world to a certain extent. Not so much with the edibles or tangibles, but the intangibles. I had, like I said, one child who loved Mr. Noodle. But this is also, I'm going to share with you my failing at this one moment. We've been having Mr. Noodle breaks for, say, 2 or 3 times in the session, and the child didn't focus so much on her spelling activity, changing the Y to an I, adding ES to make plural nouns, but she was looking forward to playing playing Mr. Noodle. But one day, she said that she wanted a break for her reward, and I thought, "Okay, Mr. Noodle break, that's what we've been doing." So she got her 3 points or 3 stars, and she says, "Is it time for my break?" I said, "It sure is." And so I had Mr. Noodle playing, and she starts, like, you know, tearing up, and I stopped and I said, "So I thought you wanted to see Mr. Noodle for your break. You did such a great job in your spelling words." And she says, "No, I wanted a break." So she was telling me she wanted her break away from our virtual classroom. And so I said, "Oh my goodness. Oh, yes, you can have a break." So we needed my fault. I should have clarified what her break consisted of to her. To me, I was following our routine. And when I got back to her classroom, her teacher said, "Oh, it's time for, so and so to take a break." I said, "Yeah, I thought so." So she got her break with me and with the classroom teacher. So the next time I see her, I know that she'll trust me in remembering to honor what she wanted as a reward. So that's why I say making your promises count. You can't just, you know, throw something out there and not be consistent with presenting it presenting that reward to the child because they're counting on us to be honest and to have that integrity and respecting them. So hopefully this is helpful. And next week, we'll talk about some more strategies and tips to make going back to school very, very successful for you. Please share, please subscribe, and thank you for being with me today. Bye bye.